when I was working in Kalamazoo, Michigan, I was taking a bunch of people to some event in Detroit, and we had Detroit Rock City on the TV.
Let me ask you this.
On the bus. But wasn't that movie set in Cleveland, right? The dudes in Cleveland want to go to Detroit to see Kiss.
I thought they were in Toledo.
Oh, I thought that they were. Ask me what?
At Blockbuster, how would they get residuals or anything? Like they sell you guys all the tapes, and then people rent them. And then how did that work? Like, do they get like a cut of each time that it's rented, or that
what do you mean?
goes,
does who get a cut?
Like does all the profit from the rentals go to Blockbuster, or do they have to pay the companies, like the movie companies?
I imagine
they rental?
Yeah, I imagine they pay outright for the copies.
Okay.
I don't know. I wasn't the CEO of Blockbuster. I was just
I didn't know if you
I
knew
was
how
a
that
lowly
worked
store manager. No, that would
know if a manager knew how that worked or not.
Nope, that would have been probably the domain of a regional manager. That would have been somebody above my station. I was just in charge of the store and everyone and everything in it. So when we had, these were the early days of laser discs, by the way, before DVDs. So it was VHS tapes, and we were one of the few stores that was rolling out laser discs, and we were always...
they are in Cleveland, okay.
We were always faced with shrinkage. You retail workers know what shrinkage is. That's when people steal from you, right? And you have to account for a certain amount of shrinkage. And it was always amazing to me how many people would try to steal VHS tapes, or like double and triple like the Indiana Jones trilogy, and somebody would try to walk out with it under their coat. And but we had the turnstiles back then too. Again, I don't know what was standard for Blockbuster Video back in the day. I only know how our store was set up. And it had all manner of anti-theft kind of stuff. We had to put, every time we got a new shipment in, you'd have to take, we'd have to be in the back, like on an inventory night or something. Every time we had a new product coming in, you'd have to take an X-Acto knife, and you'd cut a slit in the shrink wrap, and you would put in a piece of that magnetic security tape into the case of the VHS. So if somebody tried to take it out, that would set off the alarm. That's how we did it. Because if you used to put the sticker on the outside, you might remember seeing...
And people peel it off.
They peel it right off. Yeah, they used to have the magnetic stickers on the outside, but those were super easy. That was a dumb idea from the jump.
Yeah.
I have to assume it's because it was less labor intensive, but I mean, it was pretty much a non-starter.
Also, you could do is you can pull the old Warren Beatty in, what was that movie? Empire Records, where you bring a magnet and then you can demagnetize all the
Warren Beatty.
Well, that wasn't his real name.
Oh.
But he said that was his name. So they they all call him Warren.
Oh, I got you.
Stop calling me effing Warren.
The kid, right?
Yeah.
He was like a little kid, yeah. Empire Records.
And then he gets a job.
Yeah. Detroit Rock City featured a young Melanie Linsky. Man, she's foxy.
Who is she?
I've never seen her. She's married to Jason Ritter now. She was Rose on 2.5 Men. She's in The Last of Us on HBO. Very prolific actress now, but she's from New Zealand. And I've only ever heard her with her actual accent in interviews. I've never seen her do a role where she is not doing an American accent. Anywho, Guardians play tonight, 2nd of 3 against the Tigers here at home. They beat them last night, 2-1. If you were there, you saw that happen. 6:10 tonight is your first pitch. We'll go right into it when we get out of here a little bit early. And the Cavaliers start up. Round 2, Game 1 against the Boston Celtics tonight in Boston. Tonight and Thursday in Boston. And then Saturday and Monday, they will be back here at the Romo Fijo, and I will have playoff tickets for you for Monday night's game. Monday during the show.
Brian's coming to visit me this weekend, and I was like, well, maybe I can convince him to come in a day early if I can swing some Celtics tickets. I looked at it.
Wait, what?
No, Knicks tickets.
Or no,
Yeah,
no, like the Cavs playing the Celtics, right? On Thursday?
Oh,
Getting
you
the-
were gonna go up to Boston?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So I
No,
like,
the
looked,
cheapest seats are probably $500, right?
dude, yeah, it's like nosebleeds.
Yeah.
It's all resale, sure.
Yeah.
But like I've just looked on SeatGeek and nosebleeds were like $750. Like the courtside seats, $50,000, like crazy. And that's it. I was like, that would be cool if I could snag something, $200 a piece. That'd be cool to go to Boston and no, not even close. I was like, this is insane.
How are they so cheap here for round one?
It's not
Weren't we
Boston.
finding?
It's not Boston.
Well, no, but they're playoff tickets,
Yeah, but it's not Boston.
huh?
Yeah.
All right. I
and
don't know.
also-
I mean, the resale tickets for Cavs
There's only a
The
handful of
nosebleeds
teams in the playoffs.
are
I figure they-
$100, but it's just it's different fandoms, different fan bases, different markets completely. Where people, I doubt anyone's buying those $50,000 courtside seat tickets anyway.
Because I was thinking about that. I was like, if you have enough money, wouldn't you have a hookup?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you have $50,000 to spend on a basketball game, I would assume you probably have someone in your circle who can get you those tickets
Also,
for free.
that's crazy.
They're also resale tickets, so it's like impossible to determine what things should actually cost.
Right.
more.
Right.
Like when they gets close to game time, I bet they drop a lot. And
Mhm.
also, it's not like this is the Eastern Conference Finals or the
No.
final. This
Well,
is
that's why I was asking about
semifinals.
Right.
That's
That's
why
why
I
I
was
was
like-
asking.
That's why I was like, because he's
This isn't the championship game.
he's getting in Friday night, and I was like, maybe I can persuade him if I can find to come in a day early, and then we can go up to Boston or whatever. And no, hold on, let me make sure I was looking at the right thing. Yeah, Cavaliers at Celtics Thursday 5/9, 7 p.m. Yeah. I mean, there's some for 310, but you're like, it doesn't even look like it is. Oh, they're standing room only. At the it says Rafters B standing room only, $310.
As in, you're hanging from the rafters.
Yeah.
You're sitting on another person's shoulders who's in
Yeah.
the really cheap seats.
But yeah, there's
So it wouldn't be worth it to just get you guys in the building.
I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think he cares that much.
Yeah.
But there are some, $200, but they're like I said, that I'm not driving 3 hours to go to Boston to see. That's insane.
Right. Maybe you should take him bowling. You can show off your newfound appreciation.
He's pretty good at bowling, actually. We've gone before.
Or did he just have a good game? Good couple of games.
No, he's pretty good.
Is he?
I've also been bowling my whole life. It's not a whole
No, but I mean,
newfound
some people,
thing.
I don't bowl very often, but when I do, once I lock in, I look like somebody who knows what they're doing, but I'm just extraordinarily lucky.
Yeah.
So some people, but if you're an accomplished bowler, then you can really put one over on them.
I don't know about
Well, you said you've been bowling your whole life.
Yeah, but that
Put some
doesn't
money
mean
on it
I'm
to make it interesting.
good at it.
Oh. You've just been doing it your whole
That's
life?
something my family always did. Was like after church on Sundays we would go bowling, or we'd go Saturday mornings before it got busy. We would bowl
Is that
probably 3
cheap?
times
Is
a
that
month.
something cheap to do, or it's just something your family liked to do?
My dad was like a semi-professional bowler, and so he really liked it. And we have been going for as long as I can remember. Bowling was just a part of our life. That was something that we did as a family all the time. The Brie lanes that were attached to the rec center, it was Sundays from 10 to 1. You would do all you can bowl for I don't know, maybe $10 or something like that. So we would go there for those 3 hours, and it was figure it out, bowl as much as you can. I remember the one time my sister and I bowled 14 games in 3 hours
Wow.
just to see how many you could do. But yeah, it was like a weekend special from 10 to 1, and we would go to that, I'd say at least 3 times a month.
That's a lot of bowling.
We liked it.
Yeah, I guess so.
My dad was really good. Kids were good. It's fun. Something to do.
Plus, if you get a turkey, that's fun to say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what does semi-professional consist of?
He wasn't in a league or anything like that, but he would go to tournaments and play for money.
Oh, I see. You can just individually go in and
He wasn't in the PBA.
Yeah,
the
right.
professional
wasn't traveling
bowlers.
around
No,
bowling.
nothing like
Yeah.
that. But he would play in
There's no
leagues.
Munson
Yeah, he would play in leagues for money,
or Ernie McCracken.
but
He
not
was-
as a job.
got
Who's
Munson.
that guy that I am? Who's that guy?
What
He's a
guy?
professional bowler, and he God, he had this moment of just such douchebaggery where he was like, oh God,
Pete
what did he
Weber?
say? Is it Pete Weber? Yeah, that's
Who do you think you are?
Yeah, he goes, who do you think you are? And then he goes, I am. Like, it's not even a real sentence.
Claim it. A strike to claim it. And he got it!
Are you kidding me?
I'm number 5.
That's right. Who do you think you are? I am.
Who do you think
That's
you are?
great.
I am.
I don't care how good you think you are. I'm better than you.
Oh, I thought he said, who do you think you are?
Yeah, who do you
I
think
am.
you are? I am. Who do you
That
think
doesn't
you
make
are?
sense.
I am. Well, he's caught up in the moment.
Right. Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
That is February 26th. Imagine, God, I would love to be that excited about anything.
Yeah.
Anything. I'm so
It's
envious of
so-
people who get excited. February 26, 2012 is when he did it.
It's so tense though. Like when we did our bowling thing, we played like one more game after when we did ours and like the competition was over. And I had like 6 strikes in a row. And it was nerve-wracking where you're standing there and you're like, I don't want to mess this up, man. Like this was going to be I broke
Right.
200 for the first time, and I've maybe done that 5 times in my entire life where I've broken 200. And it's a lot of pressure. So I can't imagine if you also are like, I don't know what he was competing for, 100 grand or some significant amount of money.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, he had to have been excited. That probably wasn't like some kind of semi-final thing.
Yeah. Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are? I am. That's great. But yeah, to be that excited, to be so caught up. I mean, listen, you do a lot of work,
Nothing would
right? I
excite
mean,
you like that?
no. No.
Not even like Nora doing something she loved, like if she was a professional bowler?
I mean,
she
I'd be
won.
very excited for her. I'm very excited when my children excel at something. I think skill is one of the greatest things anybody can do for themselves. But I'm just not. No, I'm so happy for them. But just these guys that like pump their fists and scream. I mean, that's like somebody who's like that normally. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just heightened, obviously, when they're in an intense situation like that, and there's a lot of adrenaline, and or however much adrenaline you can muster up for bowling. But, it's competitive. No, I can't imagine a situation in which I would get hyped up like that.
If I won really big on a slot machine, I'd probably scream like that. Like if I hit for some insane, $250,000 or something like that, I'd probably scream and run around.
Who's the winner of this? I am.
I
That actually
am.
makes sense,
You play
though.
slots? I am.
Who's the quarter millionaire? I am.
Right, yeah.
No, I don't think I would. I would probably get really silent.
If you won all that
I wouldn't
money?
want anybody to know that I won.
Oh, I'd lose it. How could you not? You wouldn't
Because then
feel like
everybody's
a-
looking at you going, that guy just won $250,000. Let's follow that guy out.
No, you get an escort out when you win money like that.
Like a hooker?
Mm-hmm. For protection.
Oh, I bring my own protection when there's a hooker who walks me out, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you worry about that one bit. I don't know why they're releasing a Swiss Army knife with no knife, but that's what they're doing. If you have a Swiss Army knife, I'm talking about your standard OG Victorinox red white cross Swiss Army knife. These might not be as prevalent as they used to be because now you can get them in like pink camo. And perfect. You'll never see it. And the company that makes the classic Swiss Army knife is designing the new version without the knife.
That's just a wine key.
Right. Yeah. They're going to add souped up tools and extras for cyclists and other kinds of things, but they're trying to adhere to, outside of the United States, there are stronger regulations on knives because here we just shoot people. But around the rest of the world, there are stabbings. But obviously people go, oh, these other countries going to ban knives. Not banning them, but there are more restrictions on them. You can't stab 120 people in 5 seconds.
Speak for yourself.
So the company that makes the Swiss Army knife is going to be releasing it without the big blade on it anymore. So I guess you'll have to stab someone with tweezers or that plastic toothpick that comes out of the end. They said they're simply responding to the plague of knife crime around the world. And they churn out 10 million Swiss Army knives annually. And there are 400 different versions.
Ooh.
So, yeah, they said after 9/11, they kind of adjusted it a little bit as well.
Yeah, they made one for America that was a Swiss Army knife with a gun on it.
Right, yeah. They took out the box cutter, I
Yeah.
guess, on the Swiss Army knife. Not to be confused with Swiss Army Man, which is a positively mind-bending movie if you've ever seen it.
Starring Harry Potter.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe and what's his name? Paul Dano. Wild movie. So if you were ever a Boy Scout and you had, I saw the Boy Scouts are changing their name, by the way, but I wasn't a Boy Scout.
Hot Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, might as well lean into it.
Yeah, right. And now they're going to become Scouting America. After 114 years, the Boy Scouts of America, the BSA, will change their name to Scouting America so they can boost inclusion. And it will come into effect officially on their 115th birthday. They went into bankruptcy not long ago. I mean, Scouting is not kind of the community organization that it used to be. My son was a Boy Scout. I was a Cub Scout.
I was a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Well, yeah, I mean, my daughter, my second grader, is a Girl Scout. You know, she's dipping her toe in that water. We had this past Saturday night, we had the Girl Scout daddy-daughter dance.
Girl Scouts always seemed more fun than Boy Scouts.
Well, here's what I thought was strange is a couple of months ago when I filled out the slip to let them know we were coming, you send them a check, let them know you're coming so they can get a head count. And on the slip it says, check what you'd like to bring because they're going to have food and drinks and everything. So they check, you know, like I checked a veggie plate or something like that. So we get in there and it's at the high school cafeteria. They moved all the tables and, you know, and I know a couple of the dads, but the bulk of them I did not know. A handful of them came up to me because they were fans of the show, which was very nice. But for the most part, it was, you know, so I'm like, how is there this big, long table and no Girl Scout cookies?
Mm-hmm.
Right? There was like a plate of like store-bought chocolate chip cookie. I mean, there was a ton of food. But I was like, I would think you guys would just have bowls of Girl Scout cookie. You're an organization most closely identified with cookies. Why are those not? I would have, if I could have dove headfirst into a vat of Samoas, I would have done it.
God, I love Samoas.
Oh, they're so good. Or thin mints. I prefer fat mints, but, you know, whatever. I don't cookie shame. But, yeah, I was really surprised. Like, shouldn't you guys have? Obviously, I'm not going to stand there and, you know, hector the woman who's volunteering. But I was just, it's like, wow, this whole big table, not one Girl Scout cookie. Like, I would have bought a box from you just to stand there and eat it.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, Boy Scouts, and you'll hear people grousing about this, too, that the Boy Scouts are changing their name. But nobody cares. No one cares.
They kind of have a bad, bad rap. The reason they went bankrupt is because they were sued by so many people because there were so many kids molested by Boy Scout leaders.
Yep.
So maybe at this point you just go, hey, you know what? It was a good run. Let's shut it down.
Right. Yeah.
Boy Scouts. I hated the Boy Scouts because I had to do it. I was forced into it by my parents because that was like part of the church program for young men, and I couldn't get my driver's license unless I did Boy Scouts. So everything that I did for that was against, like, I didn't want to do any of it. And that was like my whole childhood was just all this stuff that I don't want to do that my parents were like, oh no, but the church says, and ugh. So,
yeah, wasn't there a religious component to the Boy Scouts early on?
Yeah, I think so. But it was definitely like the Mormon church kept them going for a while because they made it a big part of the young men's
growth and whatever.
Yeah,
I see. So how long did you have to be in it?
Till you're 18, basically.
Until you're 18?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
was your dad showing up in the khaki shorts and the knee-high socks and all that
I
crap?
didn't know you could do it that long.
I mean, until you do it.
Until you're no longer a boy, man.
Until you're 17 is like.
Until you're a man.
Done with it. But my dad he never wore the shorts, but he'd wear the uniform
Kerchief?
when we had to. Yeah.
Wow.
When we'd go to like events.
Yeah.
Ugh. Hated it.
Yeah, I'm glad that's all in the past. I'm going to take a break here. Hey, want to join us on the Cleveland Funny Bus? This is so fun. I'm so glad we're doing it again. We'll go out tomorrow night. I will be your host. The Cleveland Funny Bus is a 90-minute tour trip around Cleveland. Local comedians are your tour guides. I will be your host. It's BYOB. It's a ton of fun. I know the first handful of weeks we're doing it are almost sold out, so you can go to funnybus.net to look and see. Bill and I are alternating weeks every Wednesday this month and next. So I'll be your host tomorrow night, but I will have a pair of tickets for you to win when we come back.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app or whatever